For me, the Avatar series has worked its way into the same kind of categorization as Rebel Moon. A place of rarefied air where the creators of an IP have an interest in or an obsession with that IP that far, far outpaces that of the public at large. Unlike Rebel Moon, Avatar at least pulls in the big bucks, so there is an appetite for this crap. But to me, Avatar is the poster boy for the idea of spectacle over substance. The stories are always safe, rehashed tales from other movies or books. They're over-reliant on you being distracted by the pretty lights and not questioning things too deeply, and the novelty of the world of Pandora grew stale even before the credits rolled on the first movie. Needless to say, I'm no fan of the Avatar series at this point. And because Fire and Ass is little more than the last movie, The Way of Whatever, with some added pyrotechnics like a Van Halen concert, it did nothing to change my mind about Avatar. Add in a plot centered around probably the worst character these movies have to offer, and the 3-hour, 17-minute runtime makes this movie a tedious affair, even with all of the action and the CGI spectacle blanketing everything. Yeah, remember Spider? The white kid with Rasta dreads that runs around like a monkey and desperately wants to be a blue cat person? The worst character that James Cameron has ever dreamt up? Yep, he's the main focal point of this movie. Which is pretty ironic, considering that they created this alien world trillions of miles away, full of unimaginable flora and fauna, just to focus the story on a human boy with identity issues. If you've enjoyed the Avatar movies up to this point, there's probably no reason you wouldn't like this one. But if you haven't been a fan of the series, or you just don't care about it at this point, there's nothing in this one that'll change your mind. But we'll talk more about why Avatar elicits nothing from me but absolute apathy after we recap the story. And I'm confident that that apathy will be palpable in my recap. So get your hentai tentacle ponytail ready to jack into this review as the spoilers are coming in hot. After losing one of his blue cat people sons in the events of the last movie, Sully and his whole family are just taking trauma dumps all over the place. 3 movies in, and Colonel Quaritch, now a blue cat person himself, is still here and still trying to capture or kill Sully. Spider, the Rastafarian monkey kid that's gone native, that lives with Sully's family, keeps almost dying because his breathing mask runs out of battery and he can't breathe the air on this planet. So Sully wants to ship him off to somewhere he can breathe, but then his family starts bitching, so he says that instead of abandoning Spider, they'll travel with Spider before abandoning him, and somehow the family is fine with that arrangement. The family offers to provide security for the Wind Trader caravan that will carry them, but the very first raiding party that shows up fucking demolishes the caravan, which is hilarious. A lot of good that security did. They're set upon by the Fire Blue Cat people, led by some savage, promiscuous fire chiefess, and the 4 kids get separated from Sully and Neytiri, who gets herself injured. While they're on their own in the jungle, Spider's mask starts to fail again, and elsewhere, the Marines swoop in and capture Sully. With Spider on the verge of death, the 14-year-old daughter, jarringly voiced by the 76-year-old Sigourney Weaver, starts doing some nature earth goddess ritual which leads to her convulsing, chanting, and sensually riding the planet until neon green tendrils grow out of the ground and enter Spider through every hole. This spurs some metamorphosis within him that allows him to breathe on Pandora, and he starts growing a hentai ponytail of his own. Just in time for him and the other kids to get captured by the Fire and Ass people, but Sully and Quaritch momentarily squash their beef to save the kids. But then Quaritch gets hentai ponytail molested by the Fire Chiefess, who forces him to teach her how to use human weapons, which was her true goal. But then the weird girl summons the nature spirits again to help them escape, and Quaritch reports back to the humans, who now make it their main mission to study Spider and find out how they can breathe the atmosphere on Pandora. Then the weird blue cat girl obsessed with nature learns she's a genetic copy of the old research lady's avatar, but she's telepathically blocked from communing with the Earth Goddess, and for some reason if she does it underwater she'll die. Gee, that was oddly specific. I wonder what will happen at the end of the movie. As the humans continue their whaling for resources or whatever, the whale people show up to the aquatic blue cat people and tell them out of nowhere that Spider is an evil outcast and they're not going to help anyone, and they peace out. Then, even more out of nowhere, Sully's blue son tries to kill himself, but he doesn't go through with it. At this point, Colonel Quaritch decides to ally with the Fire Blue Cat people. So after allying with Sully, the one person he's on this planet to kill, to attack the Fire Blue Cat people, he joins the Fire Blue Cat people to get their help in killing Sully, because this movie makes no fucking sense. Anyway, he shows the Fire Chiefess a flamethrower and then they bang. Then the blue sun that tried to kill himself goes off to ride some ancestral waves as part of a vision quest or some shit. There's really not any more explanation for it in the movie. After 13-year-old Spider makes out with the character voiced by Sigourney Weaver, think about that for a second, he's captured by Quaritch and Sully surrenders himself to keep them from torching the Water Blue Cat People's village. But not before Sam Worthington's Australian accent makes a random appearance. Quaritch, having gone full native himself, shows up to the base with the Fire Blue Cat people and turns in Spider, who gets studied, and Sully, who's facing execution. Meanwhile, the blue sun on the Vision quest gets attacked by the squid people, which in turn get attacked by the whale people, and the sun is saved by his light-skinned friends. While in captivity, Quaritch bonds with Spider by telling him about his dead mom. Meanwhile, the blue sun and his friends commune with the whale people, but one whale person comes in bitching about getting shot by harpoons over and over. And it's supposed to be serious, but it's actually hilarious, because he comes swimming in hot, yelling about getting shot.
Oh, son of a bitch! You shot me in the ass! Okay, wait.
The humans, now abandoning the plotline about replicating Spider's metamorphosis because this story is a mess, are now planning for an extinction-level whale hunt for some resource. Man, makes you miss the simpler times when they just wanted unobtainium. Anyway, through some confluence of unimportant events, Spider and Sully escape. But Sully decides, completely out of his character, that he needs to kill Spider so his mutation won't be replicated, even though he's already been studied. So Sully takes him into the jungle, and the moment of truth comes, and Sully randomly stabs the air symbolically, and doesn't go through with it. Sully returns and tells all the chieftains to rally for war as the humans set out for their grand whale hunt. The humans get ambushed by the Blue Cat people because 3 movies in, the military still doesn't know how to check if there are Blue Cat people waiting for them, and the Blue Cat people pretty easily cut through them. But then the Fire Blue Cat people and Quaritch, who's gone full native, swoop in and turn the tide. Meanwhile, the weird clone blue cat girl obsessed with nature has to go underwater to commune with the nature goddess. Who could have seen that coming? The nature goddess is about to do something, but then she gets torpedoed, and it's pretty funny. Neytiri gets captured because everyone just gets captured. 3 movies deep. Just imagine how different or non-existent these movies would be if anyone wised up and just killed any number of these blue cat people. Everyone's been captured like 4 times each. Anyway, she and one of the sons get captured and they need to be saved. The humans continue their assault on the whale people, but the squid people show up and help the blue cat people, and the whale people attack the human people, and their ship gets crippled. Just like in every movie. I don't know how many times the entirety of the humans' operations and infrastructure on this planet need to be completely obliterated before they move on, but I doubt this is the last time. Sully comes to save Neytiri, and Neytiri fights off the Fire Chiefess in an anticlimactic battle that the Fire Chiefess loses before sulking off, never to be seen again. Quaritch captures Spider and flees, but Sully catches him and they face off. In the melee, Spider stupidly gets too close and gets knocked off a cliff, and Quaritch saves him, but Sully has to save them both. Then, faced with the option to keep fighting to end this once and for all, or to maybe surrender and join Sully and the Blue Cat people, Quaritch chooses option C, random suicide out of nowhere, and he leaps off a cliff into a fire. The Sully family is safe once again, and Spider and the Nature Girl journey into the spirit realm to meet all the dead Blue Cat people for some fluffy bullshit closure. The end. Man, just recapping that story made me hate it even more. There's just so much going on with this story, and not an ounce of it is exceptional or noteworthy or even really good. There are so many subplots and extraneous journeys that everyone's on that the movie never feels like a cohesive story. There was so much nonsense, like the Colonel ignoring his one directive on this planet to help his only target against the people he allies with 4 minutes later against the enemy he allied with 4 minutes earlier. No one just shoots their enemies and ends it because we need 4 more fucking movies in this series. The humans are in a rush to study Spider, but then entirely pivot their whole operation to go whaling. The whale people blame Spider for something out of nowhere just to manufacture fake tension. The Blue Sun needs to go do an unexplained vision quest for no reason that no one asked him to do, which fails but ends up working anyway. It's all such damn stupid nonsense. Outside of the visual aspects of this movie, I guess one of the only positives is that there's a lot of action that keeps things moving. So the movie's not boring. It's not engaging, but it's not boring either. It's like a sugar high. There's nothing of substance here, and you won't remember a lick of this movie, but you're awake and attentive throughout. I feel like these Avatar movies are kinda what brainwashing must be like. You're staring at pretty lights for more than 3 hours, but afterwards you don't remember a minute of it. But even though there's quite a bit of action and high-intensity moments, none of it feels new. In fact, it feels damn near identical to all the action from the previous movies. You're going to feel like you've seen every single one of these action sequences before, because you have. And I think that's true for this movie as a whole. I feel like I've seen the same damn movie 3 times now, just with a different label. It's like when Taylor Swift released the same album 27 times with 27 different covers, but the music is the goddamn same. That's what Avatar feels like. Beyond the pretty lights, I really don't get how this shit is appealing. Are you ready to travel to Pandora? A planet full of nasty surprises and unforeseen consequences? Like Pandora's box, get it? In search of unobtainium, a rare mineral that's unobtainable, get it? Tune in to Avatar, Fire and Ass, where a white monkey boy with Rasta dreads gets penetrated by the earth, turning him into a blue cat person. Where a pregnant blue cat lady rides into battle, only to take a break right in the middle to give birth. Where sworn enemies become friends, only to immediately become enemies before becoming friends again, before one commits suicide. Where a weird nature-loving blue cat chick rides the earth cowgirl until she gets what she wants. Where the human's goal on this planet is to obtain unobtainium, or whale blubber, or to study mutant white monkey children, or whatever the fuck we need it to be to justify another movie. See all of these retread, rip-off stories brought to life with cutting-edge CGI that doesn't leave behind a trace of human touch. And all of this infused with all the emotion a CGI blue cat person with a hentai ponytail can muster. I really don't get it. These movies just completely wash over me and leave nothing behind. I have to look up these characters' stupid-ass names every time a movie comes out because I retain next to none of it. You know, the more I talk about it, the more I hate this movie, and I think I've made my point, so let's move on to the ratings. As of this writing, Fire and Ass currently has a disheartening 91% audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and it has a 6.9 on Metacritic. I don't know what the box office numbers are this early, but I'm sure this will make $1 billion, because that's just the value of mediocrity. As for me, Avatar continues to be a hate watch. The CGI and effects are the only redeeming qualities about these movies, and the funny thing is, it's the one aspect that can be completely done by AI by the time the next Avatar movie comes out. James Cameron is so far up his own ass with these movies, man. As bad as Zack Snyder was in the same way with Rebel Moon, Avatar is still making tons of money. So while Rebel Moon is dead in the water, and I'm grateful for that, believe me, Avatar seems like it might go on forever at this point. And I just think that's sad. Movies like Avatar are why my scale for grading movies weighs the story so heavily. Because once you see through the superfluous fluff that's drawing people to the theaters, and you see there's no substance beneath the surface, the whole thing just starts to look like crap, no matter how pretty it is. Did you have an interest in this new Avatar movie? Have you been stricken with complete apathy toward the franchise like I have? Let us know in the comments below. And remember to like the video if you liked it, and subscribe to Hatewatchers for reviews of other current shows and movies. Thank you for wishing we had never opened Pandora's box with us today, and I'll catch you on the next one.